Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer and today I'm Gamesplaining CO2 Second Chance. So if you have watched my other video, you'll have an idea of how the basics of the game works with your own player boards. This video is about the rest of the game. So where we left off last time, we had one up here. We were moving around on the knowledge track and we had built a power plant. The first thing that we need to deal with is that at any point, if you have completed some stuff, you can flip these tiles over. These tiles work against you if they are left up the way they are. So in the first decade, they cost 1 victory point per tile that's face up at the end of that decade. These green ones are looking for power plants to be built in the area. So this is a power plant that's built in North America. There are no green ones. This is a white power plant or wind power plant that's been built. There are no wind ones. If this one had been built, the green one, there is one tile here that would get flipped over once that one's built. If that one happened to have been built in Asia, then that one there would also be flipped over. You can see we're gradually getting those ones down straight away. These ones with the pink backing are talking about where you're up to on that track. So anything with just the symbol is talking about when you hit the pink portion of that track. So you can see the wind one is up to the pink portion. You would be able to turn that over. Unfortunately, there's no wind ones that don't have the line. The ones with the line mean that you've got one of your guys up to the end. Just while we are on that knowledge track, you'll notice that this pink portion has a picture of the white cube. That means that when you get to that spot, one white cube or knowledge marker can be added to your board. You can also add that to the other player's board if you so wish. That indicates that you will add a CP marker to one empty spot if there's an empty spot. So there's no point in going for those unless there's actually empty spots, and we'll talk about those in a second. This one gains you knowledge in any one of the areas. So you could just go there and push one forward, or you could push someone else forward one. And obviously that pushes forward in that particular zone. And then the blue ones are talking about these. So when you complete a summit, these are summits, you would get to flip tiles over that have that picture. So let's, for example, just pretend that was completed. To complete it, you go, okay, there are 2 guys on there, that's all that's needed. Each of them would get to move their knowledge markers forward 2 in either of the areas that they have talked about. So the pink could either push forward 2 in the green, or push forward 2 in this area, or push forward 1 in each. Blue could then do the same. Once that's happened, the scientists then go back to the markers. This comes off. Now what's happened, we've discussed something that has that. So we get to flip that over. This summit also had 2 things on it, so we could flip one of those over. Of course, it was size 2. That then goes out as being completed, and we bring another one in. Now we get to the income phase. So what happens with the income phase? Once this one has moved to there, that is, the player that is furthest along will gain the income as marked by their track. In a 2-player game, it's only the person who's furthest forward. So you really want to get them sitting on top of each other, because both of them would get 2 money. At that, only the pink player gets the 2 money. Pink player will get 4 money, pink player will get 1 money. Now you can choose to take that as money or take that as victory points. So at the moment, pink would be getting 7 points worth or 7 money worth. If he takes, say, 5 of that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as victory points and 2 of it as money, that's absolutely fine. Now you're allowed to kind of hold back on making that decision until the later phases when you're losing victory points if you need to. And that'll actually help that decision be made by doing that. So what he might do is hang on to the 7 money just to show that he's got 7 money or points, and we'll work out if we need them. If they don't need the points, then he can take it as the money. We then move forward to the environmental goals phase. That's the flipping over of these tiles, which I've already done, and I actually kind of like doing that during the game rather than right now, simply because it's easier to keep track of. But what now happens is for each tile that is face up, there are currently 17 tiles face up. He's going to lose a point for every single one of them. So that 7 money is probably worthwhile turning into points. So it brings up 7, which brings up 14. He then drops back 17, which puts him into the negatives. If no other players have earned any income, they have now lost the game. It's totally dead. It's game over. Everything can be packed away. Let's say the blue player was sitting on 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. So instead of taking any of that income, he could take the points, and we're still alive. Once that's happened, we then go to the energy supply phase. And the way this works is you go around each region. Let's just say that one's completed for the moment, just so we don't get confused. You can choose where you start. So let's, I don't know, start in South America, just because it's close. The first thing you do, because there's no power plant in South America, we flip one of these over. Takes 20, so we push this forward 20. You must remove one of the CEP onto that. It's going to get removed just to show that that's actually happened. We then move to the next one, which is 40, which now means we would increase this 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see we're getting into trouble straight away, can't you? That then marks that. Keep going around. This one doesn't have anything on it. So that's also a 40. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're in big trouble now. This one has one there, so we don't need to worry about that one. This one also is missing a thing, so that goes there. 30. We're 30 above at the moment. That one has a factory on it, so no problem on that one. Now, the next problem we have is that in order to reduce this, because you need to be below 500, you must spend 1 point per 10 pollution value in order to get down. So if he spends 10, that brings him down to 520 if we do the math right. So let's say, for example, it was on 500, he spent his 10, so it's brought to 490. They're still alive, they can go on and play the next phase or the next decade. As you go further through the game, it costs more points to bring it down on that marker. So in the 2010 decade, it's 1 point per 10 units that you're pulling down. On the 2020, it's 2 points, 3 points, and 4 points. So that was that portion of the game. Once all of these have been scored, every one of these CEP markers come off and go to the bank. That then pushes forward. We go back to the beginning and start again. The things that you're looking for is to finish the 4th decade, and each player must complete one of these cards. So what are these cards? Basically, this player needs to have the control of one of the places that has 4 CP markers on it, so 4 like that, or he needs to have 3 knowledge cubes at the end of the game. There's one of those cards that will need to be done on your way through, but we won't worry about that. You can look them up in the back of the rulebook to see what each of those actually mean. You also need to reduce these cards, so there's only 3 of them left that have not been claimed, and obviously you need to be below the black line. That is CO2. I hope that this helps you get CO2 to the table. If you would like to see a playthrough, please go ahead and watch my Gamesplay so you can get an idea of how the game actually plays in reality. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you would like to be Gamesplaying, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games that I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.